So here we are back in Mittenrahm. This is me doing this for the second time because I forgot to unmute my mic and didn't record any audio for the previous version. Whoops. So last week all of this wood was mangrove. It's not that I didn't like it. I wanted a basic version using the lowest status blocks, so it didn't look as rich or colourful. This is the result. I think it's the best I'm going to do with the space that I'm giving myself. But yeah, it's not too bad. Not too bad. We'll see a little bit more of it in a few minutes. This is most likely going to be a wall separating off the two pieces of terrain, probably all the way around to about here. The road is obviously in place, goes all the way through the swamp now, and all of the stonework that I had initially planned is in place as well. I just dressed up this, some of this is natural, dressed it up a little bit, but yeah, all of the stonework all done. Basically creating a border along the entire outer edge of the swamp, except for a few key areas with open water, a couple of gaps in the hills. Looks like I forgot to hit this with a bone mill. So part of the original plan was actually building a ridge along here, actually filling this in with mangrove as well, but I don't think either of those things are going to happen. That was actually part of the plan, to build the main stuff all along this way and then see how I felt, and I don't think it needs any more. All of this is done. The dead trees will be limited to this section, along with the mushrooms. Some of these trees will be converted to look like this, but with leaves, and then some of them are going to be lifted up because they're hanging down too much on the road. So this is actually, the first one of these was done in the north. I put in a structure block and brought it down here, used the structure void block to block out certain areas so that it wouldn't interrupt the terrain and the water, and then redressed the top half because the original is entirely stone. I was fairly pleased with it the first time around. I think the block changes has helped to give it some character. It's obviously a custom island, it wasn't here last time. Originally I was actually going to spawn a giant slime block. I did that once 10 years ago. I'm assuming it's still possible to summon one. You can specify the size of the slime when you summon it, and yeah, it was about the size of a chunk. It was like 16 by 16. There was obviously no way to really keep it here, which would have been a problem, so I decided to build one, thinking I might get more mileage for it. obviously it wouldn't be able to do anything like this. Originally it was, I built something blob-like. Wasn't happy with the fact that the skull was completely hidden inside, except for the eyes, which were just about visible. So I just had this idea to have it being blown open. And yeah, it didn't come out too badly. So this was an attempt at creating, obviously, a two-seater car-like version of the hover bikes. But I'm a little concerned about oversizing it, so it's still quite narrow and it makes it hard to really change its appearance to better match the bikes. It occurred to me based on something I saw yesterday. Somebody had used signposts. They were green with yellow text on, and it looked like computer screens. And I'm obviously not going to do something like that, but I'm wondering now whether I can put a pattern on the side, basically. See how that works. But the only other thing I've been doing is over here. It's actually been most of the week so far. The dirt and the coarse dirt is artificial, along with some of the grass here. Basically trying to cover it up so it's not as obvious as you go past. Basically gives you access to a set of tunnels, a set of rooms that crisscross this ravine and slowly let you all the way down to the bottom. There's quite the network of tunnels. So eventually you find your way down here, and I'm going to look for a way to connect through to the other end of the ravine by going into the wall rather than trying to... I don't want to interfere with this too much, so I'm not really sure what to do with it. I mean, I could build a channel and just let it flow this way. Fill this in, make it a proper lava pool. At the moment, yeah, as I say, I'm looking for a way through that will bring me round. Either coming out somewhere like here, which would be nice, or possibly come all the way up here. But this is the ultimate destination. I'm assuming that at some point I would put a dungeon down here, sets of treasure chests and spawners and so on, with this place being the final chamber. I'm not really sure what it actually is. I mean, I feel like it ought to be a burial chambers, but I haven't actually done the usual rooms for that, knocked into the sides of the tunnel system. But you know, I might get to it. We'll see. But on that note, I shall say adieu for the second time.